Hi there, this is Darren from SimNation again. Today we're going to do a quick recap of our new league here at SimNation. This one I'm kind of proud of. It's a labor of love, and I still need to find some time to finish up getting the executable ready because I know a lot of people have asked me about can I just zip this up and make it available to everyone. GMCFL used to be the coach league here at SimNation. It was an FBS league. We didn't have a lot of coaches, so I decided that what I was going to try to do was kind of break it apart and redo it in a way that would, uh, let's just clean that up. There we go. That would be a little bit more palatable. So what I did is I created my own FCS league. So for those of you not aware of what the FCS is FBS is what used to be known as Division One. So you think of all the big schools, right? Alabama, Auburn, Michigan, UCLA, USC, all those schools, right? FCS is Division One AA. So this is where you have the Ivy League, you have Big Sky, you have the Southern Conference, you have all those type of schools. So the problem with FCS is there's not a lot of people who have done one. This league took me an inordinate amount of time to build, mostly because I kept breaking it, and also I wanted the graphics file to largely be done. There's still work I have to do around that to fix it. But we do have, this is our inaugural season. Of course, we are now in week 12. And as you can see, Dartmouth, who's a CPU team, is number one, Maine's number two, Abilene Christian's number three, Mercer's number four, Tennessee State's number five. Eastern Washington is the first human control team, and this is 65 Toss Power Trap, I think, who runs his own leagues. He's a great guy. I highly recommend his leagues. I'll probably post his links in this video just so you can check him out. He helped me quite a bit with some of this and kind of spurred me to keep going on it when I was like ready to quit on it. But if we just go through the top 25, William and Mary is my team. Just general background, my wife went to William and Mary. I live in Richmond, so I know William and Mary quite well. They're ranked number 17, and then we have Northern Arizona, who, if I remember correctly, is Wavia, uh, and he's having a pretty good season. The other human control teams, of course, are Rhode Island, which is Pint of Tris, and then you have Starfinder, who's at Gardner Webb. There's a lot of teams open. Again, this is our first season, so if you're interested in FCS and you want to play in this league, I'll put the links in the video. It's a great league. So far, I think what we'll see is the top 16 teams will make it. If I remember correctly, I said each of the conference champions gets to go, and then the remaining six. Right now, if you look at that, it's going to be Eastern Washington is probably going to be in, but it's kind of a shock to see Dartmouth. I'm going to have to play with this a bit because the way that this is built is there aren't many players who have an overall of greater than 80 because I intentionally nerfed the players. Um, and it's the same with the recruits, by the way. Although there are some recruits out there who are like Travis Hunter was with Jackson State, where he's just really good. Now, the intent is that this league will feed, along with SNCFL, both the WWPF and the GMPFL, uh, which are the two NFL leagues. So I would say check it out. I think if I had to guess right now, Eastern Washington is just doing really good, and we'll kind of show this a little bit. So if you look at the Colonial Athletic or the CAA, right now the three teams that are competing for potentially a place in the playoffs, of course, Maine is already there because they're number two. They're 10-0. They should win the. They should make the playoffs relatively easy. Villanova's had a really good season. One of these two teams will walk out the door this week with Maine will either be undefeated or Villanova may leapfrog them. And then, of course, you have William and Mary, who's having a pretty good season with two losses. They need to pretty much win out, which they have a good path to do that. But their next game is against Elon. That should be a win. William and Mary's winning largely with defense. Rhode Island, I think, is having some struggles, but I also don't know that Pinetris has uploaded recently, so I don't think this is indicative of his coaching skill. Um, Eastern Washington, I mentioned this. This is one where we have two different coaches in the same league with 65 power, 65 toss power trap. I'll get it. In Wavia, as you can see, he's having a really good season at the Inferno. In Northern Arizona, Wavia, he's also having a really good season. So both of these two teams, I'm hoping will make the playoffs. Eastern Washington looks like pretty much a shoe-in to make it. And as you can see, is they're both having definitely Northern Arizona is having a really good job of recruiting. In the Big South, again, Gardner Webb is the only human-controlled team here, but you can see Tennessee State's having a pretty good season. So is Charleston, really just Tennessee State. But Starfinder will get his feet under him and should start to build. This league's a little bit harder because there's more equality in the league. So as that starts to shape out over the next season or two, you start to see some of the teams start to move up. The Ivy League, I need to go back and just double check. I didn't overpower the Ivy League. Um, Dartmouth is one, Harvard's nine, Princeton's number 11. A lot of this just has to do with beating up on everybody else. And as you can see, they have one of the wide receivers with 1,138 yards, and then a quarterback with 2,400 yards. We'll talk about who's the league leaders in a second. Of course, we have the Mideast Athletic Conference, or the MEAC. This one also known to me. I went to school not that far away from South Carolina State, but South Carolina State's having a really good season as well. In the Northeast, it's what a lot of people call Duquesne. It's Duquesne. Again, pretty familiar with that because I also lived in the Pittsburgh area. But this league is pretty solid when it comes to there's no breakaway team. As you can see, most of them are wrapping up their season. I do need to look at the scheduling. That's an issue because a lot of teams by week 12 are almost done. And I'm pretty sure that's not how it is in real life, so I'll figure that out and fix that. Uh, Missouri Valley Conference. So Youngstown State is, of course, having a great season. South Dakota State normally would be higher up. It's a little shocked to see that North Dakota State's not doing that well because North Dakota State, of course, is a real powerhouse in real life. So I need to look at some of these, but generally speaking, you see North Dakota State is having a really good season. It's just their defense is not doing all that well. In the Pioneer, again, San Diego is probably the best team in this conference. Probably the only team that will make it in. Holy Cross, again, is also having a great year with the Patriot League, probably the only team that's making it in. The Southern Conference, you have Mercer and Chattanooga, both who are competing. I don't like Chattanooga's chances of making it in. I think the computers pollsters are overweighting them. But you also see Western Carolina, East Tennessee State in the mix of things. The SWAC, you have Southern and Jackson State and Florida A&M. I think Jackson State will probably be the team that makes it in from here, but it'll be Jackson State versus Southern, of course. And that kind of mirrors a little bit of real life. Incarnate Word is definitely running away with the Southland. Southeast Louisiana is a team that may be able to trip them up, but that's, I don't think, too dissimilar to real life. And then, of course, in the UAC, you have Abilene Christian and Utah Tech, who are both having really strong seasons. It feels a little bit different than real life because you don't have the Dakotas, who are dominating, also the Montanas. But again, you can't necessarily mirror real life. I will make this file available if you are interested in it. I have to clean it up a little bit. I'm also trying to finish up the coaches to make the coaches mirror more the real life systems as opposed to the way it is right now, where only some of the teams actually mirror. But as you can see, if we just look at them, uh, we do have quite a bit of the let me see if I can't show you this. I have to log in. Anyways, but we do have all the graphics files are there. I will say probably the best one is Eastern Washington. 65 toss power traps, put a lot of effort into his team. I am cleaning up the custom fields, and that's the next big thing. But if we take a look and we just look at who the league leaders are, what you quickly see is, again, the passing schools are definitely Mississippi Valley State, North Dakota State. Rushing wise, you have Hampton and Charleston Southern with our folks. Receiving yards, we talked about this again. It's between Dartmouth and Davidson's wide receivers. And then if we look at like sacks, you'll see Alcorn State, Cornell, Hampton. Again, because we have so few human coaches, you're not going to see a lot of human coaches uphill. But right now, if I had to guess, the two teams that are probably competing the most, three teams actually, for a playoff spot is Eastern Washington. I think that they're going to lock one up. William and Mary still has to get by a few teams to get there, and then of course you have Northern Arizona. Those are really the three teams that are challenging from a human control spot. So if you're interested, definitely would love to have you in this league. We have a lot of open teams. If FCS is your thing, it's a good league to start with. I will be tweaking this file over time to try to continue to make it right. And of course, this will feed into our pro leagues. And just because I have 80s now, I have a formula that I'll use that will actually bounce them to what the rating should be as they go up. So any person who comes out of this league will have a competitive chance of getting drafted. There's already one or two people in this league that I'm looking at just from how well they're doing to say that this is probably somebody who would definitely go. Like David Bullard, I think he's going to be one of the guys, as well as Timothy Coley, that actually will potentially be a first through third round draft pick in whichever league they end up in. So that's it for now. If you're interested, let us know. Also, if you want this file, let me know. I should have it cleaned up the week after next, and I'll put it up on our website so that you can download it. Thank you again for your time.